He's been head coach of the year in the UAA 3 times. He's seated right to our left right now. So he clearly, at least judging from the fact that his team did not come out onto the floor to warm up for the second half, was not happy with what he saw in the first half. That's Duckett inside, misses a wide open shot. And pushing that defense that time and drawing the foul. Foul's going to go against Case. It's against Sam Hansen.
And I would definitely say that the entire coaching staff of the Maroons, including Mike McGrath, they were trying to send a message to their players. Hey, play more aggressive, win more rebounding battles, get those 50-50 balls, hit your free throws. I mean, he had to give them a bit of a lecture and a bit of a talking to, but that will happen. And the Spartans have to prepare. They have to react for this inevitable run that Chicago's going to try to go on.
2 quick fouls for Case as we open this second half. Perez was red hot in that opening half for Chicago. He gives it up to his teammate Crawford. Duckett with good defense. Crawford missed a shot, but he got his own rebound. And he couldn't quite handle it.
Ron, that's a guy we haven't heard from in a long time, Crawford. I mean, we thought that him and TJ were going to be banging heads for the entire game, but that matchup wasn't nearly as relevant in the first half as we thought it was going to be.
He wasn't in a whole lot late in that first half.
No, he wasn't.
Perez took over the middle, that soft middle spot in their offense against this Case zone. That's Hansen for 3, missed it short, but David Black missed the follow. Zucker and Duckett step in, pick up the defense, and TJ gets a block and the rebound.
Very encouraging sign. TJ controlling the boards early. That's going to control pace, rhythm, and tempo. Still working on the Spartan side thus far.
Alvarez back to Duckett after the screen. TJ went up, missed a shot, but he'll draw the blocking foul.
And this is where Javi Alvarez takes over as point guard. It's his responsibility to try to clear the lanes for the cutters like TJ Duckett, like Eric Black, like David Black, and try to get them some clean looks as they are rolling to the rim. And this one gets TJ to the line where he has become a much better free throw shooter, and you have to respect his free throws. You can't just foul him and send him to the line anymore because he's going to make you pay.
TJ's got 8. It's going to be a push on Waller Perez.
Needless to say, he wasn't too happy with it. Bit of a slow start for Chicago here in the second half. You always expect that the team that is down at halftime is going to come out with a sense of urgency strictly for that fact, but Case is still rolling.
Javi Alvarez splitting the defense. Whistle away from the ball. Did they say Javi stepped on the baseline? I think that's what happened.
Must have.
Yep.
Javi loves to do that, though. He does love to go baseline, and he will draw a crowd as he's going underneath the rim. But that time he wasn't willing, didn't want to shoot, rather. He was looking for David Black in the corner 3, but just stepped out of bounds.
Sam Hansen fronting Waller Perez inside. And they're going to say Sam was hugging him. I think Mike McGrath got that call called. He has been working this sideline official for the last 3 minutes. Perez with 13, he led all scorers with 11 first half points.
And that's just a mismatch right there. You just had the wrong defender on a very good post scorer. That's the freshman Sam Henson, a much smaller 6'2" guard. That's not the guy that you want defending right there.
Duckett inside. Missed the shot. Crawford with the rebound.
And if Chicago is going to get back into this game, Crawford is going to have a really strong second half, not just rebounding, but scoring as they feed him the ball here.
Here he is, Eddie.
And there it goes.
He's got 5. On the flip side, TJ's got to make those shots. He's missed 2 on the last 2 possessions that were set up makeable. That's Javi with a lob pass. Thought he was almost lobbing it to TJ Duckett. They'll say it's a shot. He'll shoot 2 free throws. Here's a look.
And Ron, I would just really quickly like to say this about Javi Alvarez. The thing that impressed me the most with his performance a season ago was he was the most aggressive player on the floor. He would get out and run in transition, and I think that now that the Spartans are more of a half-court offensive team, I've seen a little bit of reluctance in the game of Javi Alvarez. Over the last weekend or so, I have seen Javi Alvarez elevate his aggressiveness in the half court, and it is paying big dividends, not only in scoring, but in assisting the ball as well. His assist total is up about 5 a game.
5, yeah.
That's where you want it to be.
Right. It was a 4-point game at halftime, and over the first 3 minutes of the second half, it remains a 4-point game. That's Perez with a nice feed to Crawford. Shot was blocked by Eric and David Black. Comes back out. Crawford will get another look. Partially blocked by Eric that time, and Eric will pick up the foul.
Well, after all of that work, that great work that Eric Black did defensively, the ball just finds the same player, and they go right at Eric again and get the foul. It's just a tough break for Eric as the front end of 2 is missed by Blaine Crawford, but you have to tip your cap to Eric Black. That's an excellent defensive effort for a really long time down there.
McGrath still working this sideline official. Eric fighting for that rebound. Ball's knocked out of bounds off of Case. So this is 2 consecutive defensive stops, one on an offensive set and then one on 2 missed free throws, but Case has not gotten the ball back. That happened once in the first half as well.
Well, the thing is, in order to get offensive rebounds off of free throws, you have to miss free throws. Chicago has missed 6 of 9, and that is really working to the Spartans' advantage.
Working it inside. Crawford doubled down on. Finds an open look for a 3. And his teammate Jordan Baum comes up with it.
They are a high-volume three-point shooting team. The percentage for them isn't spectacular right now, but they're getting it done.
David Black with defense in front of him, and he was fouled. Barthel with the foul. Hit him on the arm. David's going to shoot 3.
I think there's just a little bit of confusion on the Maroons' part as to who was going to go out and get the shooter that time. I think he got a little too much action from those 2 players. It results in a foul. And David, who again, Ron, is one of those three-point shooters who he's really not going to get to the line unless he's, on the block or if he's receiving a give and go. He's a guy that doesn't get to the free throw line much for that fact, but you still love the fact that he's going to the line because he can make those shots just like he can make his threes.
Absolutely. He's got all 3 of his points tonight, Eddie, are from the free throw line. He has been very quiet he really hasn't gotten many looks from the outside.
And that's simply due to the fact that, like you mentioned it many times before, Chicago gets out to the shooters and gets out to the ball handlers.
This is Crawford again. And again, drawing the foul. Eric Black saying, how? I stood there, went straight up. That's his 4th foul. They're going to quickly get TJ Duckett off the bench. Here's a look.
So as good a look as we're really going to see. And I think that Mr. Black has a valid point right there with him going up right there. There's just nothing different that you can do defensively. But I tell you what, if on the next possession that exact same thing happens, he still may get that whistle. It's just the luck of the draw type of thing.
I don't think that's even close to being a foul.
I would agree. For me, that's a no call.
David Black gets the ball stolen. Jacobson the other way, and it rolls in.
It seems like Chicago gets the really tough ones to go. I mean, they have struggled from the line, so you got to take that into consideration. But anything that has been highly contested, they have just gotten a favorable role, and it's been really something to watch as they have now taken a 1-point lead.
Waller Perez can really jump. He just flat out jumps straight up and knocked that ball out to his teammates deep in the backcourt. Now he has the basketball. His explosiveness and his strength with that explosiveness, especially when he has the ball, is something to watch.
No kidding, that young man really has the hops. He was meant to play basketball.
Case is having a real hard time inside right now. Duckett with his third foul. This is Crawford back at the free throw line.
Well, and Ron, this is basically Todd McGinnis playing the chess match, leaving the guys with fouls in there and saying, Chicago, we're going to challenge you to hit your free throws, because thus far they have not proved that they can do that. So they're going to continue to foul them hard and make Chicago prove that they can hit those free throws.
Duckett against Crawford, banging hard. TJ knocks one down. I believe he can do that all night.
Yeah.
Here's a look.
I would agree. Everything's good. Good footwork. Got a strong right hand on the basketball. Goes up with it. Blaine Crawford just goes up strong. Doesn't give much resistance. And a big bucket for TJ. Have to get his confidence going. That will really help them later on.
49-48 inside. 15 minutes to play. A long ways to go in this basketball game. Spartans there in red tonight. They are honoring their history. It is throwback weekend, playing under the field house-like setting here at the Delbert Gymnasium. Spartans wearing the Red Cats throwback uniforms tonight, with Reserve across the front, honoring Western Reserve. On Sunday, if you come or if you watch, they'll be dressed in brown, honoring Case Tech. Good crowd on hand tonight, active crowd, loud crowd, in a gymnasium that kind of just, the sound reverberates in. This could be quite a gym to play in, home court advantage-wise, if it ever comes to fruition that this is the place that they, ultimately make a permanent home for this basketball program, both men's and women's.
And not only do the players and the coaches appreciate the history, it's this entire school, this entire environment really values the history of the school.
Quick three by Jordan Baum. He's hit 2 in the second half. He's got 6.
And Chicago definitely has their three-point stroke working. They did not shoot a high percentage from downtown early on, but it is getting up there.
Again to TJ inside. I tell you, I keep going to TJ Duckett until Chicago proves they can consistently stop him.
Yeah, and I think it's going to take a couple possessions for him to finally hit his zone, but I think he has gotten there and he's feeling it. Just like a shooter feels good from 3, TJ Duckett will feel good too.
Baum again, he's dangerous. That one went in and came back out. TJ Duckett trying to save it. Does to Zucker. Ahead to Hansen. Sam Hansen lays it up and in. Quickly down the floor though, Chicago not wasting any time. Nally, Hansen steals it. Sam Hansen, he can spot up, he will, shoots it, missed it. And who went up to get it? Waller Perez. Foul's gonna go against Hansen. And that will be Sam's 3rd. Shooting 2 free throws will be Tyler Howard.
See a little slap of the wrist there and a lot going on in the last 7 or 8 seconds or so. Both teams getting up and down the floor. A couple clutch rebounds by TJ Duckett, but you got to give Chicago a lot of credit for having the initiative to go all the way and try to respond to that big Spartan bucket.
Tyler Howard is shooting into that. That is the group of fans that are at that basket. And they are here to have a good time tonight. There's a timeout on the floor. We'll take one too. We'll be back.
Everyone loves a comeback, right? Especially when that comeback is Queso Diablo from Qdoba, full of spicy satisfaction to take you straight to queso bliss. That fiery, smoky sensation you've been craving has returned. Celebrate the comeback of Queso Diablo, available now and for an infinite time, only at Qdoba Mexican Grill.
$13:20 to play, and a 53-51 Spartan lead. We had a really entertaining first game. Spartan women an 80-78 winner. And Ron, the Spartan men hoping to do the same, hoping to make it a sweep here on Friday night.
That would be a great way to start the throwback weekend. So this is Howard back at the free throw line. He's got one more free throw. There's some delay right now. They're discussing how many timeouts Chicago has left. The Maroons say they've used 2. Scorer's table has something different.
Well, and I tell you what, head coach Mike McGrath has had to use quite a few timeouts, and going back to the point that you mentioned before, Ron, the guys coming out at halftime with maybe a minute 15 seconds left, maybe taking like 2 shots for the start of the half. I think that this Chicago team has really heard an earful from their coach here tonight, whether it's making your free throws or overreacting to three-point shooters getting out to the line. I think his team is just not where he wants them to be at this point, and the Spartans are up 2 because of that.
Howard makes the second free throw.
And that is just the 4th free throw make in 14 tries for the Chicago Maroons.
We don't.
Really not reliable.
It's another delay in the action here. The officials are calling for the play-by-play sheet.
Not ours, just for the record, that's not ours. That's a totally different end of the scorer's table where they have literally a list of each play that happened on a spreadsheet somewhere, and they're just looking for timeouts.
There is the women's basketball team from the University of Chicago. They are sitting in the catbird seat. Katina's Landing here at Delbert Gymnasium. It's actually a very comfortable place up there.
I was gonna say, you know, considering the age of this building, those are some nice seats.
They really are.
I mean, just about every seat in this building is a pretty good one, but that's a pretty unique angle that you get to take and take in a basketball game and be baseline in watching a game. Well, pretty obvious that Mike McGrath pretty concerned with how many timeouts are at his disposal. I mean, he's still got a long way to go, but so many of those timeouts have been used by Chicago here in this game.
So here's what they've come up with. They looked at the play-by-play sheet, which, as Eddie described, is a literal blow-by-blow of everything that's happened. And they've come up with that Chicago has used 2 timeouts, not 3. Zucker goes high and steals that pass. This is his teammate Alvarez with it the other way. Collin tried to get it into TJ and Barthel just stepped in. Zucker with the foul. Jacobson will go to the free throw line.
And I'll tell you what, we've seen a couple plays this year when Collin's been guarding in transition. That's a good hard foul. That's a great hard foul, because seeing the free throw percentage that Chicago has at under 29%, I would foul him hard every time.
And Jacobson, as he makes the first, is a 48% free throw shooter. That's exactly where he's at tonight. He's 1 of 2 from the line. David Black has checked back in. Keep in mind his brother Eric's been on the bench for some time now with 4 fouls. And he has 10 points. He was Case's leading scorer in that opening half. Did a great job off the bench. Inside, Duckett with a ball fake, goes up with 2 hands. They're going to say he traveled with the basketball.
Much to the dismay of the very animated Spartans crowd right here. Not sure if we're going to get, well.
Yeah, he did.
Maybe, yeah. Just a tiny little jab step right there with both feet.
Those are selective calls, too. I mean, not just in this game. In any game that's played in basketball anymore, traveling is so subjective, selective by officials, whims. You could call it dozens of times a game if you wanted to. I mean, I think that is a situation that basketball has created themselves.
Yeah.
The traveling no call.
Well, and the other thing, too, Ron, is as an official, you're really looking at the ball. You're really looking at the positioning of the ball, not really the feet. What a great answer, though. What a way to respond. If there's a fairy tale way that you could draw that up to respond, how about that play by TJ Duckett right there? Now that was a TJ bucket.
This is Waller Perez, steps back. Missed it long. Barthel went up for the rebound, and on the ground, on the floor, was a foul on the Spartans on Connor Nally.
Been a while since we've heard of any damage done from Waller, Baller, Perez, but trying to shoot over TJ Duckett. Missed it a little bit deep, and a highly contested rebound there in a very tight 2-point contest.
Colin Barthel is one of the good free throw shooters on this basketball team, 78% on the season. So when you head down the stretch, 2 guys you don't want to foul are this guy and Fenlon. Blaine Crawford will go to the free throw line. Fouls on David Black.
Close. Tough call. That's really one of those 50-50 calls. You either get the call or you don't. But I tell you what, Ron, whenever the Maroons go to the free throw line, that fan base that you're looking at right in your picture right there, they will let them know about it.
That's for the rest of the game, too. Crawford 3 of 7 from the foul line with that make. Game's tied again at 55. Double high screen. Nally. This is Hansen to Duckett. Duckett not where he likes to be. He's going to dribble in there and get it back out to Javi Alvarez. 10 seconds to shoot. 5 seconds to shoot. Black with the 3 dropped. On the break, Hansen with active hands, but Crawford comes up with it.
Boy, that looked like it could have gotten ugly for Chicago on the fast break. Almost looked like they weren't going to come away with any points at all, but an excellent recovery and the putback by Blaine Crawford. They really need to get involved in this game.
Hansen with a screen from Duckett. TJ will roll out of it. David looks inside to TJ, still looking, and he's fouled by Barthel.
Yeah, now the Marooners only have 1 more foul to give for the rest of the final 10:39.
And that is 4 fouls on number 2. They're going to take him out of the game. Both teams with 1 player with 4 fouls. TJ Duckett gets an inside look, and the shot was blocked from behind by Crawford. TJ thought he had a dunk.
That was one terrific block. I would go out on a limb and say that's the best block we've seen this year.
Alvarez lays it up and in. Javi Alvarez got the steal and the bucket.
That's the classic Javi Alvarez of last year. When he uses his speed to burst into the open floor, there is nobody quicker. There's nobody that can stop him, and he will score 100% of the time with those layups if he's able to get out on the run. And that is not good news. Not good news at all right there.
That's 4 fouls on Duckett with 10 minutes to play.
That's 2 Spartan players now with 4 fouls.
2 bigs, too. 2 guys with a combined 24 points. And one of them's coming back in for the other. So Eric Black with 10 points and 4 fouls will replace TJ Duckett with 14 points and 4 fouls. This is Perez again from the free throw line.
It's a pretty aggressive call by Todd McGinnis because remember, Ron, he went with the freshman Michael Hollis off of the bench earlier when you haven't heard from him since.
Perez with 14, his team's up a point. In a game short of very early when Case was up 14, 29-15 in that second quarter, has been tight since that time. "15 seconds to shoot for the Spartans, down a point, inside 10 to go. Javi Alvarez will take it out. There's a look at TJ Duckett. He's on the bench with 4 fouls. David Black is sitting next to him. Long 3, Connor Nally got it.
I was gonna say, from where we were sitting, we had him lined up perfectly with the basket. I could see right out of the catch and release. That was gonna go in.
Off Perez's thigh, Javi Alvarez creating yet another turnover. Waller Perez was not, there's a look at Nally. Well beyond that 3-point line. He's got 2 buckets tonight, both of them threes. Hansen and Nally. Nally with a step, goes strong to the basket. Shot was blocked, but Connor's gonna shoot 2.
You know, it feels like when they've posted up against Blaine Crawford has been able to block shots, but when they get dribble drivers that are coming at him, it's a whole nother ball game defensively for Blaine Crawford. That results in an easy call and an easy foul, sending Nally to the stripe. And defensively, Ron, I think there is a big difference when you call yourself a rim protector and you call yourself a post defender. I think that Blaine Crawford is a post defender, but in terms of rim protection, it's a whole different story.
Case has consistently gone inside the second half. We'll see if that continues. Eric Black working with 4 fouls. And Jacobson with a reverse layup, he's got 9.
And Eric Black knows that he's not going to be able to throw all of his muscle into just one defensive possession right there. So an excellent backdoor pass leading to a Chicago bucket.
Alvarez getting banged and banged by Tyler Howard. Tyler, to his dismay, will get called for the foul. He's got 2. So Javi will shoot the 1-and-1. Case is in the bonus the rest of the way. Baum works it inside to Perez. And Eric Black's gonna pick up his 5th foul, and he has no idea why. His
momentum is actually carrying him backwards. I mean, if the contact is created by anyone, it's definitely not big number 21, Eric Black. But a rather unfortunate turn of events for the Spartans, as they're going to be without one of their best creators and one of their best post scorers.
So Eric has been forced to the bench with 5 fouls. He will not return tonight. His brother David will check in place of him. And that will send Nally, Hanson, Alvarez, Zucker, and David Black back out onto the floor for Case. Perez is back at the free throw line. He's 1 of 4 there tonight. Perez with 15. Spartans with a 1-point lead. We're at 8:26 left. Hanson likes it. In and out. Reynolds with the rebound.
Still a pretty contested 3 early in the shot clock.
Karras ball up and over the backboard. Perez will take a seat. He'll get a well-deserved rest. Jake Fenlon will check in. Fenlon hit 2 threes in the opening half. He's got 8 points on the night. He's a threat, as well as Baum, as well as Karras on the floor right now for Chicago from outside that arc.
Yeah,
this is Connor Nally.
Spartans working with excellent spacing right now. Everybody on the floor is a 3-point threat.
Javi's shot was blocked. This is Karras for the 3, missed it short, long rebound. Javi Alvarez with it. 2-on-1 break to Zucker. He'll spot up, shoot the 3. Didn't get it. Fouls on Nally. Looked like a lot of ball on the replay.
A lot of ball. Lot of ball.
Jacobson's at the line. He'll shoot 2. He's 1 of 3 on the night tonight. 48% free throw shooter, the sophomore forward out of St. Paul, Minnesota.
The other thing, too, is if Chicago misses both free throws, that's essentially as good as a block. The only difference is you don't get out in transition and you have to settle into your half-court offense, but that is not something the Spartans wouldn't prefer to do.
Game is tied with 7:35 left. Alvarez and Zucker and Nally, David Black and Hanson on the floor. Case with a very small lineup out there right now. They're actually forced to be this way. Connor Nally almost got knocked over. Forced to be this way because Eric Black has fouled out and TJ Duckett has 4 fouls. Todd McGinnis rolling the dice because he has to, playing small because he doesn't want Duckett to foul out. This with 7, 6, 5 minutes still left in the game. Gonna work it inside. David Black with active hands. Good tip and he saves it. Well,
definitely going to be an active defense with a smaller Spartans lineup on the floor. They can now rotate out to the ball like Chicago was doing in the first 20 minutes.
David Black for a 3. Need it. Missed it. Got a good look. Baum and Jacobson. This is Jacobson out right wing. Along with Crawford, ball above his head. Perez gets it inside. Zucker tries to steal it. Ball's knocked off Perez.
Wow. Ron, I really have no idea why Blaine Crawford gave up the matchup right there. He had Zucker on the block. That's the matchup you want. You got 6'8" against 6'2". That's a matchup I take 10 times out of 10, and yet he decides to pass the ball up. Ugh, tough.
We've got a good one. Stick around.
Intercontinental Suites has been transformed into much more than a hotel. It is a center of wellness and tranquility, featuring renovated suites, an expanded fitness center, and pure rooms for guests requiring the most allergen-resistant rooms on the market. C2, our Mediterranean-style restaurant and bar, accentuates the ambiance of relaxation and rejuvenation. Chef Omar Jones has designed a menu full of fresh, locally grown herbs and vegetables, along with a flavorful cuisine inspired by the beneficial Mediterranean diet. Call the Intercontinental today at 216-707-4300 or visit us at hotelsclevelandclinic.com or on Facebook.
A lot of activity this weekend here inside of Delbert Gymnasium. Good fan interaction, nice energy. Brooke Orcutt told us during the women's game, Brooke, a former player here who joined us for the second half with analyst work, said that absolutely the players feed off of the energy inside a gymnasium. And there's been good energy in this gymnasium tonight. Played well for the Case women as they won 80-78 in a game that really went down to the final pass of the game. And then now the men holding tight with Chicago, game tied at 62 with just over 6 minutes to play. Hanson and Alvarez now into TJ Duckett. Remember, TJ's playing with 4 fouls. Banging inside, kicks it out. It's Javi. 8 to shoot. Hanson's going to go to the free throw line. No shot, but the 1-and-1 is in play. Fouls on Jordan Baum.
And Ron, this has been a defining night for Sam Hanson. He has played big minutes here tonight. He has shot the ball well, very efficiently, and has played big-time minutes for this Spartans lineup in that starting lineup as that third guard.
Sam Hanson with his 12th point of the night. Howard out top, they'll swing it left. Fenlon with it. Fenlon can shoot the 3. He shoots that one, misses it. Zucker fights with Jacobson, and Jacobson won that fight. Now Collins not giving up. Chicago with the basketball. Barthel with it, with Duckett. TJ's working with 4. They'll swing it. Howard thinks about a 3, goes to Jacobson. He'll shoot the 3. Soft shot is good.
Nothing but net there. Pretty big 3. Pushes Chicago's lead to 2. Spartans looking for a response.
Sam just lost the handle right in front of his teammates. All right, they need a stop. If you're a Spartan teammate, you look at Sam and you say, let's get a stop. Nothing you can do about that now. This is Fenlon with the basketball. Jacobson just hit the 3 to put Chicago up 2. A cutter, ball was kicked. 5 seconds to shoot. They're going to put 15 seconds on the clock. They'll put 10 seconds back on the clock. That's a hefty penalty once you work so hard to play defense and they get 10 seconds back. Long 3, missed long. Javi with the rebound. It's a good look at the senior guard bringing it up the floor. This is Zucker now with it. Case can find a way to get Zucker back in this game offensively. Maybe Collin will just do it by himself.
Yeah.
He had 10 points in the opening half, tied with Eric Black to lead the team. He was scoreless, Eddie, until that point in the second half.
That was a great individual effort by Zucker. Would love to see some pick and roll action there, try to get TJ involved even with his 4 fouls, but a foul at the other end.
They are really getting touchy with the fouls here in this second half. That's a foul on Javi Alvarez. as aggressively as they let these guys play, it's always, if interesting is the word or what word I'm looking for, how in the final 6 minutes of a game, suddenly things aren't the same. The physical play is called differently. And as a player or as a coach, it's totally confusing because you've been accustomed to being allowed to play one way and then suddenly you have to change that.
But it is something you have to be aware of. I think, most officiating crews do have that track record. So it's a well-documented fact that, if they let you play, for the most part, they might tighten things up on you after a while. So as a player, you just have to keep that in mind and keep that strategy with it.
Alvarez draws the foul. Fouls on Perez. It is Waller Perez's second foul. He has played well tonight. Javi 2 of 3 from the foul line, and then he's got 6 points total. Javi on the season struggles at the foul line. He's 61%.
And it's a really puzzling thing, too, Ron, with Javi's shot. I mean, there's nothing wrong with it mechanically. I mean, it's a high arcing shot. He uses his whole body, but for some reason it just doesn't go in.
This is Fenlon inside to Crawford. They're going to kick it back out. That's Howard with a 3. Missed it. Whistle underneath. They're going to keep it here. TJ Duckett is fouled out of the basketball game.
And that is now 2/3 of your capable big man gone, and you still have 3:36 to play, and you're going to have to play without him. It's going to be a mighty small lineup the rest of the way, and the foul is going to be away from the shot. I don't think we're going to get a look at it in the picture, but TJ not feeling too good about that. Didn't think he committed his 5th foul, but they're going to have to go on without him.
So he is out. Eric Black is out. Todd McGinnis is not at all happy with the officiating tonight. I think Mike McGrath getting a front row seat to Mike's work tonight has been fantastic at working these officials. McGrath has worked them since the second quarter.
Yeah. And as a coach.
And he's all smiles now in the second half.
Oh, sure. I mean, and as a coach, your job is to coach the players. But some of the coaches spread out throughout all of basketball at every level, they really do make a second profession at working the officiating crew. It's a craft.
Oh, they all do it. I'm not singling Mike out as the only guy in the world that does it. Every coach that's ever coached anything, from 5th grade travel ball to the NBA, works the officials, and Mike has been masterful at it tonight. There's another situation. They miss both free throws and they get another look at it. There's that great leaping ability by Perez that keeps this ball alive. Spartans down a point. We're at about the 3-minute mark. Connor Nally is going to miss it left. You could tell it when it left his fingers that it was not going to go in. That's Perez. Now it's Howard with it, with a screen from Barthel. Howard missed the shot, follow doesn't go, and Hansen comes down with a rebound, and Sam is hurt. Sam came down hard on his left ankle, left foot. You get a look, Sam's number 23 in the shot.
And Javi knows exactly what to do. Look at this. Javi is straightening out that leg and trying to give his teammate as much comfort as he can, and I think that right about there is where he's going to be feeling a little bit of pain. But I think Javi Alvarez might have a future as an athletic trainer or a fitness instructor or something.
Well, they can ill afford to lose another player. They've already lost two of their bigs, two of their leading scorers tonight to fouls. Hansen, who's an outside threat, on a night when they need an outside threat. He's hit 3 threes in this game. He's got 12 points. He is trying to walk this off. He's got to come out, but probably only for a moment. Michael Hollis will check in for him. Hollis, the freshman, will post up for the Spartans. Now they'll bring David Black out high in that zone. Black will set the screen. This is Nally with it. Now it's Hollis. David Black will throw up a three. This one's going to be well short. Perez comes down with the air ball.
Yeah, Chicago really in the second half has been starting to contest a lot more threes, and I think that the percentage is showing. No doubt about that.
Fenlon dribbles in, traveled with the basketball.
Spartans needed that, and I think that this gym needed that, Ron.
Yeah, it got quiet, didn't it?
Yeah. Just like when the women lost McCoy, the tail end of the game last week, same thing. With Eric Black coming out, TJ coming out, all the energy just sucked right out of this building.
So Alvarez will walk it up. We're inside 2 minutes, just inside 2 minutes. Avi's going to take it to that left side. This is Zucker between the circles. Colin Zucker has only 1 basket in the second half. He had 10 points in the opening half. 8 seconds to shoot. Alvarez splits the D, finds Nally for 3, got it! Nally was thrown into the Case bench.
That's a big time shot by a young player. Attaboy, young man, well done.
Shot was blocked inside. Chicago got it back, 3 in the air, missed. Perez knocked it out of bounds. No, he saved it. Barthel, 3, and it's good. Tyler Howard just hit a 3.
Wowee. We talked about it all night long, Ron. The offensive rebounds for Chicago. They've been able to do it off of threes. They've been able to do it off of free throws, just extra possessions.
David Black slips on the ground, ball's loose. And a foul in the backcourt.
All kinds of activity happening down there.
Well, David just got knocked over by Blaine Crawford. And they call the foul on Javi in the backcourt, and that's going to send Tyler Howard to the free throw line, and he's the one who just hit the huge 3.
Wow. You know, if there was such a thing as a triple whammy, I would say that would be it. Lose the basketball, get a foul, and not only that, but it's the guy that just hit that 3, but fortunately, Spartans come away with a miss. So at most, it could be a 2-point deficit with still 47 ticks left.
Missed them both, but they need to get the rebound. They have been unable to do that, and Alvarez comes down with it. Spartans down a point, they'll call a timeout. They'll have 38.9 seconds left. There's a 13-second differential. Shot clock, game clock. We'll be back for it.
Inspired by the 60s, Dave's Cosmic Subs is spreading love around the world, one sub at a time. Voted the best in Cleveland, Dave's Cosmic Subs uses only the freshest ingredients, all wrapped in the history of rock and roll. Dave's Cosmic Subs are perfect for any occasion, especially your next Spartan Athletics gathering. Visit Dave's Cosmic Subs Coventry or call 216-320-0330 for delivery. There's only one legendary sub, and that's Dave's.
38.9 seconds left. Spartans have the basketball, down a point. Two bigs have been fouled out, Eric Black, TJ Duckett. Sam Hansen left the game with a ankle, shin, foot, something. He's back in. On the floor, David Black will inbound it. Hansen, Zucker, Alvarez, and Nally. All of them, with the exception of maybe Javi Alvarez, are long-distance shooters. They don't need a long-distance shot, they just need a shot. This is Zucker. 13-second differential between shot and game clock. Collins got it again. High screen. Collins with a sealed opening. Shot off the glass and it goes. Collins, Zucker laid it up and in. Came off a screen. Nobody was playing defense. Working it inside. Crawford kicks it back out. Good ball movement. This is Perez. Boy, that was too easy. Boy, that was great ball movement by Chicago that time.
That certainly was.
The heads were spinning defensively for Case. That's how quickly that Maroon defense or offense moved the basketball. We're gonna keep it here. We got 12.8 seconds left. Spartans are down a point. They'll have the basketball.
And Ron, the good news is here with the lineup that Todd McGinnis had on the floor in the previous play, we're not expecting him to make any changes, so they're gonna have 5 3-point shooters on the floor. And again, like you just said, you don't need a 3, but the fact that you've got 2 guys in the corner, 2 guys in the wing that can knock down a 3, it's gonna be easier to score inside. It just gives you more options. I like the options that the Spartans are working with at this point, and you've got ample time, 12.8 to go, to set up the shot that you want. And you can take the last shot if you want to.
They'll get the last look, barring a Chicago steal.
Here's another thing too, Ron, though. It can actually be a good thing to take a quick shot here because Chicago has not taken care of business with their free throws.
Right. Nally will inbound it to Alvarez. Howard will provide the defense. Zucker, David Black, and Hansen are now in the game. This is Zucker with it to David Black from 15 feet, high up, over. David Black hit a shot with 4 seconds left. Up and over the defensive stretch by Blaine Crawford. David Black with an eyedropper that came down, nothing but net.
I'm not really sure if that's the one that they wanted, but it goes. And if it goes, it's the one you wanted. Needless to say.
David Black, who averages double figures for this Spartan team, had not hit a shot from the field until that one right there.
Wow.
3 points tonight, all from the foul line. His first shot from the field that goes gives his team a 1-point lead with 4 seconds left.
It's going to be interesting to see the strategy here, because a team that does not do well at the free throw line will probably also not do well under pressure. I would say it's almost reasonable that if you foul Chicago here, there's a chance they could foil under the pressure, not only miss 1, but miss 2. Let's see how they play it.
Chicago sends 2 deep. Pass to Perez, who can go up and get it, and they call a timeout as soon as he comes down with it. Perez came down with it just outside the 3-point line on the right side. That took 9/10 of a second. Well, they threw it to the right guy. You and I have commented all night long about the explosiveness of Waller Perez. And they threw the ball high where only one guy could go up and get it. And that guy on the floor at that time was their teammate, Waller Perez.
Yep.
So there's the Chicago bench. They'll have the ball side out. It'll be right side out with 3.1 seconds to get a shot off.
My money says it's going to Waller Perez again. But again, that's just a gut feeling. But you know, when you're coaching, when you're playing, more often than not, you trust your gut. That would seem to be the guy that the ball is going to go to.
They'll send him out there along with Blaine Crawford. Tyler Howard will inbound it. Fenlon's out there as well. Fenlon's a three-point shooter. And then Karras tucked in near his Chicago bench in the far left corner, also a three-point shooter. They don't need a three. They just need a bucket. They'll have 3.1 seconds. Howard will inbound it. And he gets it in for a dunk, but there's a whistle and a timeout was called by Chicago. Timeout was called by Chicago before the inbounds play was started. The bucket will not count. Chicago's going to get their timeout, but not their basket. That's Mike McGrath, who took off his jacket. Timeout Maroons. 2.5 seconds are left. So 0.6 of a second went off the clock during that inbounds pass. But they're going to have to put it back to 3.1. They'll have to reset the clock to 3.1 because that play didn't count because of the timeout.
Well, I think what Coach McGrath is trying to say, that play never started because of the timeout, so they have to put all of the time back on. Now it's only 0.6 of a second, and there it goes. It goes back onto the clock, but that can make a world of difference in a game that comes down to seconds.
So out they come. Defensively for Case, it'll be Jake Lavis, Connor Nally, Sam Hansen, Colin Zucker, and Javi Alvarez.
Here's how that can work in the Spartans' favor. They just got to look at what Chicago was trying to do, so they have an idea of what's coming here.
You got Nally protecting the middle. You got Alvarez coming off that screen. Here's Fenlon with it. He's going to spot up with Alvarez in his face, and he made it at the buzzer. Unbelievable.